to everyone. Anonymous Messenger here once again. Today's topic, respecting your elders. Um, Again, I don't mean to bash on the younger generation, but growing up, I was always taught to respect your elders. I grew up with my grandmother for about 2 years while my mom had to make some difficult decisions and go across many, many miles to a different country to be able to provide and send money for us. Because my country of origin is a very um, it's a country with limited resources, and so all through all through my elementary days, that's when I was able to grow up and learn. And the biggest lessons were taught from my grandmother and my grandfather, and they always taught respect your elders. It's always Mr. and Mrs. Yes, no, thank you, please. um, this little short story, going back to when I was about, I want to say, 6 or 7 years old. Um, I um, I needed to ask something for my to my grandma, and I remember she was having a conversation with an adult, and I just barged in like I owned the place, and I asked her the question, and she looked at me and she said, um, "Don't you see we're talking?" And I said, "Oh, I just had a quick question." It's like, "So is your question more important than the person in front of me and the conversation that we're having?" So from that day on, I always had to wait. I always had to wait till they would acknowledge me. I would say hello, Mr. or Mrs., and then I would ask my grandma the question. Um, Respecting my elders meant that when I was going to elementary school, um, whatever the teacher said, that's what went. You know, um, my grandma was one of those people who would say, if I ever get a call from school that you're being somewhat disrespectful to anybody, um, I don't care if they're the teachers or they're not, or if they see you walking and you said a bad thing, or you called somebody by their first name who are older than you, you have big problems. And my grandma is very old school, so she had very ways of handling discipline. So I quickly learned at a young age to respect our elders, and I don't know if we're losing that. I think it kind of shocks me when you know um, young kids speak to their parents by their first name. No way I would ever do that with my mother. Or um, you know, sadly, grandma passed away a couple years back, and you know, I carry those lessons and those morals to always respect your elders. It seems like I don't know, it seems like we're missing that. We're losing that sense of that respect towards somebody who has been here longer than us. Yes, maybe they don't know how to use a computer, but yeah, they have more life skills than we could ever imagine. Um, and I think that, growing up years back with somebody who, had an old school way of thinking definitely put a positive impact um, in my lifestyle. Just because even as a professional, when I'm around, other professionals, I make it a habit of calling them Mr. or Mrs. And it's always the same thing. Call me by my first name. We work together, and I say I'm sorry, but that's the way I was raised. Don't mean to be disrespectful. I think that um, just having that mentality all throughout my young days, and understanding that someone who's older has a lot of wisdom, someone who's um, takes the time to speak to you and give you um, you know motivation, and gives you knowledge, and gives you ideas, and gives you compliments, and it gives you um, wisdom, is someone you need to respect. Now, I'm not saying you can be disrespectful to someone who's younger than you, but as an older individual, um, if you're a high school kid listening to this, um, understand that they have a lot of knowledge that one could only imagine. That the way you treat, you know, elders, would you like to be treated that way? Going back to the golden rule. So respecting our elders, hopefully we never lose that. Hopefully more people continue to remind individuals that it's not okay to be disrespectful towards elders, respectful towards teachers, to officers. You know, if they have authority, um, so it's always important to remember that. So yeah, if any of these resonates with you, leave a comment. What do you think? You think we don't have as much respect for or elder citizens nowadays? Or how was your childhood? Were you raised to treat teachers and elders with the most maximum respect? Um, Let me know in the comment section. For now, Anonymous Messenger is out.